Hello everybody, welcome back to Foxicalicus and to Tiny Bunny. Yeah, sorry, I had to check that I didn't check that already. So yeah, we just left the room with Oya. So now we're gonna watch the movie when she comes back. The old photon TV was gathering dust in the corner. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. Have a new, fresh cup of tea. Because I'm enthralled, but my voice is slowly giving up. The tube warmed up, and familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR, when the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. It was a dark taiga forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. Just a few moments later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. Did it catch some rogue signal? Local TV station only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna. What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Oya had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her. But in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do all of it. Search. I sifted through the shelves full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. I found the tape I needed thanks to its shabby spine. Cool. I got the black rectangle from its box. So, what was the thing about the antenna? The tape inside it rustled while rewinding to the beginning. This rustle was lulling me to sleep. Drowsiness attacked me while I was squatting before the TV. Images whirled in my head. Me and Oya flying above the forest, tumbling in the soft clouds. My little sister is laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forced with every passing second. I noticed the clouds underneath us part, bearing the bristly pine tops. Swampy darkness slurped among the trees. The wings are no longer able to hold us, and Oya. You haven't started without me, have you? My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. I rubbed my eyes. No, come sit. Mom and Dad are arguing again. They're going through rough times. Rough times are lame. Did you bring us tea? On the screen, Wendy was hiding Peter Pan's shadow in the dresser. Oya was entertained by the cartoonish dog Nana. Maybe Mom and Dad will buy us a dog too. Yeah, right. I'll have my own dog in the Neverland, and a cat, and a parrot. Oya smeared a slice of bread with a thick layer of condensed milk and handed it to me. Have you lost all of your baby teeth? Obviously. Oya frowned, deep in thought. Peter Pan has baby teeth. What if they won't let you go to his land with adult teeth? We'll think of something. We'll ask Dad to alter your age in the passport. And why would Dad forge documents? Oya took a bite from the sandwich and started talking with her mouth full. He would. I heard Mom mostly did it before. Really? You look her ears as big as Dumbo's. Oya got worried and touched her ear. I smiled to myself. My little sister was silent now. She just devoured bread, watching the adventures of Peter Pan, Tinker Bell, and James Hook. As if she got sucked into the fairy tale Neverland. To be honest, I also imagined myself there, in a land where no one ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and the sound of broken plates at night. I felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality. I had to flare that up again. Tasha, shut the curtains fast. Why? No one's watching you. It's dark. And when it's dark, the owl comes. I'm scared. I got out of bed. Fighting my drowsiness and closed the curtains. I did my best not to look outside, toward the treetops, toward the taiga forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from shadows of branches scraping the snow. Tasha, Mom thinks I made the owl up. And Dad, too, thinks I'm a liar since I'm small. But the owl exists. Honestly it does. You do believe me, right? That it comes every night and... I swiftly grabbed Olia's hand and looked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. But did I really have those qualities? Yes, I believe you, alright? Just don't nag our parents about it anymore. They're already dealing with a lot, so they'll just get mad at you. Come and tell me if anything happens. And don't look out the window. But it wants me to look. Doesn't matter. Act like it doesn't exist and never existed. Like it's made up. Just like Mom and Dad say. You'll get tired of waiting and fly away. So what was the whole thing about, like, changing the antenna to see if we could pick up the show? We followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened. As if the forest didn't kidnap kids. As if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile, and Peter Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Olia's eyelids had dropped. She started snoring lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. I stood up and left Olia's room. I was looking at the window, studying the field, when Mom peeked into my room. Enough playing around. It's your first day at school tomorrow. I don't want to go to school. Go to bed. You should sleep properly. You don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right? I don't want to be teased at all. Mom? I don't want to be teased for anything. Good Lord. Adults think everything is so simple. As if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear that mysterious flute again? I do. They were getting down with it. Yes or no? Yes. Maybe it's just a part of growing up, and I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. Why am I on medicine? I'm sure if I would have... It has come, after all. The day I feared the most. The first day of a new school term. Episode 2. Episode 2! Okay, if I would have known it was that close to the end of the episode, I probably would have just trucked along in the previous one. But it's fine. It's fine. I keep having to, like, re-prep my candle so my light exists and it keeps, like, flaring up. But it's fine! Time to play with you. New school, new teachers, and most importantly, new classmates, who I always have trouble connecting with. Like most other kids with glasses, probably. I forced myself to get out of my warm bed. That is a familiar struggle, my friend. Dad would usually drive me to my old school, but this morning, the bedroom of my parents was silent. Did they sleep in? Maybe it's a good thing. I didn't want to get the daddy's boy reputation from day one. My parents were probably still tucked in, dreaming about the good old days, when everything was so simple and easy. Hello? Anyway. Sweet dreams, even if far removed from reality. I silently sneaked out to the first floor so I wouldn't wake up anybody, especially the peacefully sleeping Olia. I did my best to step on the middle of every floorboard. I used to play like this even in our old apartment. If my soles touched the space between the floorboards, it counted as stepping into lava. The clock was spurring me on with its hands. I need to hurry. Faster, faster. I was too fast, so I needed to circle the hallway once again. Boiling lava was bursting out of the cracks between floorboards. I needed to watch my step, to survive at any cost. Hippity-hop, like a frog jumping on molehills, like a fearful bunny in a grove full of wolves. I made a sandwich in the kitchen, shoved it down my throat, and drank it down with cold tea. My appetite was as good as if someone being led up the scaffold, toward a guillotine. I lowered my gaze and saw that one of my feet was standing on two floorboards at the same time. Burnt to a crisp, huh? I moved my foot. Disgusting little snakes writhed in my belly. The fear of getting hit and being called nasty names. The clock clicked. I need to go. It was dark outside, fitting for an early winter morning. This darkness never fully left the houses around here. I took my time tying my shoes, buttoning up the puffy down jacket, trying to delay my unpleasant exit into the semi-dark, into the unnerving unknown. I rubbed my glasses for good luck, though I couldn't remember a single time these thick pieces of glass brought me any good fortune. Wait. Oh, never mind, I can't wait. The sky was akin to a giant bruise. That thing is gone. That was something. On the east side of it, a black cloud was swelling up. It licked up stars from the sky and extinguished the rising sun. Darkness was plastered all over the treetops. The cautious cries of birds got tangled up in the thicket. I locked the front door with a long key that I wore around my neck. My parents made me wear this noose, afraid that I, being a total klutz that I am, could lose the key otherwise. The wind whizzed on the other side of the gate. It invited me into my new life, toward dubious adventures, what is rushing towards me, and tagged alone like an old buddy, pushing me in the back. Wide shadows that pines throughout covered a third of the clearing. Upon reaching the edge of the forest, I hid my nose in the coat's collar. I was squeezing through the thin fire break, my hair ruffled up, my back hunched over. Tall trees stood on both sides of the tiny trail. The snowy blanket rustled under my feet, and the canopy of intertwined branches above my head cut me off from the already sparse starlight. The night had no plans of moving away from the forest. In this darkness, trees reminded me of shaggy old women that smelled of burial earth. Their trunks turned into cracked, wrinkled faces with holes in the middle as their mouths. If I lost focus even for a moment, mold-covered witches would drag me into the forest's depths. Stop running towards me. Then my parents would be walking around these parts, screaming my name. But the dead can't answer the living. Hi, Grandma. Or can they? A sense of panic was growing in my chest. I was fine with Dad carrying me into the school by his hands by now, if it saved me from watching the darkness rise up in the ravines like black dough. It felt like someone jumped into the bushes behind me, so I turned around. As soon as I started walking faster, I heard the snow squeak behind me. The forest took a deep breath with its giant lungs. The windfall cracked. Oopsie. The wind and the birds were left behind in the field. Now I could only hear the forest creak. Where are my parents? Where are my parents? I walked, listening closely and the unseen presence grew stronger, as if someone was following me, trying to match the pace of my footsteps. I turned my head so fast it made my neck crunch. Hello? A tiny trail behind me disappeared into the darkness. Tree branches overlapped, forming a natural tunnel. Who's there? The question escaped my lips and dissolved into the unending creaking of the wooden idols, the pines around me. Why did I think going through the forest alone was a good idea? That's what I'm saying. Why am I alone right now? Like, where's my family? I'm 12. Why am I unsupervised? I'm either going mad, or someone had intentionally lured me away from home. Distant lights granted me a smidgen of hope. A country road. I ran there as fast as I could, as if afraid that the trail will shrink. Clawed hands will grip me by the shoulders, turn me around, and make me look at the faces of hungry forest denizens. In the end, nobody stopped me. I almost flew to the decrepit wooden bridge, disbelieving my luck. The bridge's supports bathed in a spring, tarry and ice cold. I put my hands on my knees and looked up at the forest, then snorted, trying to calm my breathing. The thicket was pretending to be asleep. It looked peaceful, lifeless. The remaining part of my commute lied through a snow-laden road, illuminated by sparse lamplights. I chased away bad thoughts and ran as fast as I could, from one circle of light to another, seeking protection from electric lamps. Just like in that game, where you need to be the first to proclaim, I'm protected! Let's learn! Oh, it's just tag. Oh. It's the base, okay. Base, cool. It's just in this case that protection was flimsy at best, with darkness writhing outside its bounds. Then I noticed something remarkably eerie. That's an animal. You have ears. In a place where the light from an inclined lamp couldn't reach, a hairy, crooked shadow came alive with a guttural roar. It's an animal with a hoodie. It almost felt like its features deterred light. Its unnatural pose instilled fear, so does the noises of it eating. My eyes almost popped out of their sockets as I just stood there, blinking, trying to chase away that illusion. But the shadow didn't disappear, and even got closer. Is it a wolf? My insides were gripped by horror. I stepped back and almost fell into a snow pile. The black silhouette, on the other hand, straightened up and addressed me in a sweet voice. Sneaking around, huh? Trying to steal my soul. Words got stuck in my throat. No, I'm just trying to go to school! Who could be talking in such a silky voice here, between the forest and the dormant village? Will you say something, dummy? A cat got your tongue? Alright. I'll bite off your nose, then. That'll teach you not to poke it in places it doesn't belong. A girl stood before me, judging from the voice and the silhouette, and the wolf face that's, oh so characteristic of girls. But I couldn't even reprimand myself for getting scared by a girl before noticing a gaping mouth under her hood with something dangerously shiny inside. I was stunned. Oh, it's a fox. From the cavity of her hood, a frighteningly real fox face was staring straight at me. It's just her jaws weren't moving, and her eyes weren't blinking. A mask. It's just a girl, with a fox mask on. At least I wanted to think that. After a surprise like that, a nervous smile involuntarily crept into my face. I was just going to school, and then you... What about me? Never seen a fox feed a dog. And indeed, there was a small dog circling the girl's legs. One of the strays that were chasing me yesterday, probably. Sorry, I didn't mean to... After hearing my voice, the dog whimpered, lowered its ears, sniffed me out, and then started wagging its tail. I guess I still smelled of bologna that I ate for breakfast. I was shifting my gaze back and forth from the dog to the girl. She didn't seem scary anymore, just weird. So you didn't mean to, huh? What's your name? I'm Anton. And you? And I'm not. She's weird. Definitely has a couple loose screws. But she has a nice voice. My astonishment has turned into a mix of happiness and relief. This girl I didn't know was definitely human, if a bit eccentric. I was also a bit angry at myself. This foxy girl was walking through the darkness without problem, and I shuddered from every little sound. I could just walk away, but this girl had piqued my interest. Oh. My roommate is cooking something that smells phenomenal. That just distracted me. That smells really good. Next time a police officer asks me about my friends at the new place, I'll tell him that I befriended a talking fox. Do you live around here? In the village? The fox girl giggled and purred. She spun around so hard the hem of her coat lifted up. No, dummy. Foxes don't live in villages. So you live in the forest, then? Have you been living under a rock? It's obvious that foxes can't survive anywhere near humans, as long as they're foxes. Her jokes were also weird, just like her carnival mask. Paper mache, with fur glued onto it. A dog reminded of its existence with a loud bark. I unfastened my backpack and plugged in my computer because it just told me it's about to pass away. At least I attempted to plug in my computer. Hello? There it goes. Fantastic. I'm unfastening my backpack. Dad would sometimes throw food in there without my knowledge. Cookies, apples, or even my favorite crab sticks. He called it a gift from the bunny. Treat from the bunny. The uneaten part of a business lunch or treat specifically bought for children. Parents would tell their children that a bunny asked them to live with a treat, but it could also be any animal, a squirrel or a bear. The stray strolled towards me with mincing footsteps, with a pleading look in its eyes. The fox did definitely treat it to something, but it was probably still hungry. Why are you dressed like this so early in the morning? Going to a costume party? The girl shrugged, throwing silvery snowflakes off her nose, and her human form along with them, turning into a genuine beast. A real fox. Agile, cunning, dangerous. A moment of hesitation and you'll be ripped to shreds. She'll tear you up and gulp you down without breaking a sweat. I couldn't help but just stand there as a stump. Until I heard her calm, melodic laughter, hidden underneath the beastly mask. I wish you could have seen your own mask, sweetie. Did she say sweetie? I got embarrassed. Went red up to my hair roots. We'd seen a fox in a zoo once, when we went there with Dad, but it had patchy fur, was gray and skinny. But this girl was of a fiery color and furry, just like in fairy tales. I was still rummaging through my backpack. My fingers, that were searching for the dog's treat, stumbled upon some soft, crumpled object. You'll see. The real beasts will wake up soon. You should ask them where they got their human faces. The girl's shadow was dancing in the lamp's light. That's a concerning statement. The dog yapped in agreement. I freaked out and dropped my finding in the snow without getting a proper chance to examine it. Cold wind instantly covered the hole it created with snow. The dog rushed to dig it out, wanting to get its treat. And the fox just snorted. Now I was so embarrassed I wanted to sneak through the snow. Sneak? Sink. Candle. We're switching candles. We're not switching candles. We're sticking it out with this one. It was still dark outside of the electric circle. On the contrary, the darkness seemed even more thick. All neighboring houses were sleeping deeply in its inkiness. I did my best to continue the conversation with the weird girl I didn't know. So, are you going to school? Oh my, you are a real dummy. Don't you get it? Well, I was trying to be friendly, but she can't stop mocking me. Calling me a dummy and all. He looks like he's about to start swinging. I should have just moved along without paying any attention to this weirdo and her stupid dog. Why are you so mean? Don't answer if you don't want to. It's not like I care. Still, something froze me in place, tugging me toward the dark figure. A mysterious appearance, her voice that was velvety and just languid enough. I was intrigued and excited. I watched her as people watch fires burn. Oh, stop pouting. Look here. Solka took a liking to you. The dog was digging through snow with sharp movements, snoring loudly. The fox turned around and looked at the windows of a nearby house, at its timbered front through the white mist. The tip of her fake nose was shining under the lamp's light. And maybe someone else, too. I went red again, like a bowl of crayfish this time. Is she talking about herself, or someone else? Light! I hoped that the semi-dark would be able to hide my embarrassment from the girl. I cleared my throat before asking. And who's that person? I waited, counting my heartbeat. The fox didn't reply. Her sly stare was scanning the frosty patterns of someone's window. Light! Light! There's a lot of light. She was reading them, like a glass book. I wonder what she can see in those winter paintings. The stray stopped rummaging through the snow. How did you get in my backpack? It ran to me, holding my object in her jaws. A mitten. Could it be the one I found in the forest? What is it doing here? When I looked closer, I realized that it was just my mitten. Oh. Well then. Maybe Mom stuffed it in there while I was asleep. Just one? A certain missing boy immediately came to mind. Hey, do you know anything about Vova? I imagine the scene. Silhouettes dancing in the clearing. Stop. A dance on the night when Vova had disappeared. A boy who, when found, can provide a big reward and maybe save my family. I remembered my birthday, when our parents promised to take me and Olya to Disneyland in Paris. That's quite a trip. But instead of a long-anticipated gift, they gave me a simple brick game console. Visibly embarrassed. I was crying my eyes out back then, demanding to take me to the promised amusement park. That was the first time when Mom and Dad had a big fight. My greediness shadowed their relationship. If only I could fix everything, gather everyone I love and take them to Disneyland. On the night Vova had disappeared, I think I saw someone looking like you dancing under my window. It couldn't be true, but I felt like her mask became even more sly. The fox was stiffing me out. Oh, that got you worried. For yourself or for someone else? Olya. As soon as I thought about my sister, my chest tightened and cold sweat streamed down my spine. I can't read. Well then, listen closely. A boy named Anton. This is a big and scary forest. The fox girl stepped forward menacingly. And I'm not its only tenant. The other beasts already know about you. beware. We'll come again tonight. I shouldn't have talked to this evil in child form, I thought, panicking. When you and your parents will be fast asleep, we'll sneak really close and dance. Macarena. Huh? Eh, Macarena. That, not what I thought. Look at you, your mouth is agape. Antosha? I don't know that word. He saw me near his window at night. Yeah, right. Are you by any chance a dimwit? Nobody would let me go outside that late. Children go missing here, you know? I touched the plastic frame of my glasses, puzzled by her silly joke. She got me scared to death. I thought she was threatening me. I thought that was a threat, personally, but I guess not. Hey, why don't you stop fondling your glasses? I was also nearsighted once. Listen to me and maybe you'll become smarter. Remember, what do they call foxes? Cunning? My words seemed to hurt her. She's insulted. Hey, what did you... sorry. Her laughter was akin to the jingle of a pair of silver bells. Just pulling your leg. Of course we're cunning. If you're agile and brave enough to befriend a cunning fox, I'll help look for your vova. There's a reason why you're doing it, right? I shrugged in reply. Her insight was alarming. I know why children have been swarming our forest recently. Sometimes you can find a lot of interesting stuff there. One day, I saw a huge pile of candy once, and I swam in it until my jaws cramped. A pile of candy? I couldn't deduce whether she believed in what she was saying from the tone of her voice. I showed her another smile, a fake one this time. Boo, so wary. Well, what will you say to this then? She held out her hand in a furry mitten. There was an assortment of sweets in her palm. In the city where I used to live, sweets like these were sold at markets or in kiosks. I saw my favorite bubblegum in a vivid wrapper among the tasty treasure. Glossary is flashing, which means there's something new. You. Huh. Small container. Type shops. Wide assortment of products from bubblegum to vodka. Types of shops are popular. More often than not, tied to criminal organizations. Oh, that was a good one. That was very bright. A familiar name was on it. Turbo, right front and center. A triangular fox face poked her nose toward me. Take some. My pockets are full of these. I don't want to insult her. I accepted the treat and catching a whiff of the girl's smell. Fur, fireworks, and citrus. The smell of holidays. My fingers tingled while I was carefully unwrapping the gum. Peachy aroma entered my nostrils. And something else. Something unfamiliar, but pleasant. Did I make a mistake? A fruity cube ended up in my mouth. I started moving my molars, chewing the gum. Tasted like your usual Turkish gum, only my tongue went a bit numb. Shoot. I couldn't believe my luck after opening the insert. I looked at a Mercedes-Benz, an extremely rare and hence desirable collector's item for any boy from my previous neighborhood. My heart skipped a beat. I was barely able to tear my eyes off the insert, still stunned. This is... Now, do you see what can be found in the forest? Still, I wouldn't go there alone if I were you. You get so flustered over simple bubblegum after all. Imagine what would happen if you find a travel case worth of these. It'll surely blow your mind. Unusual treats. Just like everything else about her. Carefully hid the insert in my bag, as if I was putting a rare butterfly in a can. The fox giggled. This is not how things are supposed to go on a Monday morning. Who are you? I refrained from asking that question. She wouldn't answer anyway. Or she'll just lie. I really wanted to see what's behind her mask. I don't think it's a mask. I was becoming more and more sure that underneath it wasn't just a simple young girl. I like her coat. What if Vova also found a snow pile with sweets and is now rolling in it? Actually, what if he decided to stay in the forest? He must be so cold without his second mitten, then. The wind caught her words like smoke from a fire and carried them deep into the darkness, into the creepy thicket. The trees behind me creaked with their bony branches. We're running out of time talking to the fox. Or what if something happened to him along the way? Something terrible. The forest reacted to her words, became alive. It sniffed me out, perking up its ears just like a curious beast. The fox girl pierced me with her eyes again. Wild beasts? You find that scary? Well, I don't know. He doesn't know. Oh my, have I befriended a dunce? I didn't like being called a dunce, yet being friends with her sounded nice. My grades are good. Really now. Will you come with me? Good grades, Anton. We'll find your Vova, and you'll be able to ask him what he found deep in the forest. As long as you're with me, nothing can hurt you in the forest. You'll see. Worms of worry writhed in my belly. Better run, whispered my mind. I don't believe you. Do you take me for a liar? Whatever. You're just like everybody else. The girl sounded hurt, although I didn't know if she was genuine about it. She turned around, as if she had immediately lost all interest in me. The gum felt bitter now. I remember my dad's favorite saying, "Where are your manners, son?" Indeed, this fox was kind to me. Please don't get mad. Foxes can also be nice, like in fairy tales. I just need to know what kind of fox you are. The girl giggled, hiding the nose of her mask in her hands. Then follow me into the forest, and you'll get to know me. But not right now, when it gets bright. I mean, your whole body is shaking, you poor thing. I don't want you to get a stroke. Hey, let me accompany you to school. After hearing this, the dog barked in agreement and stopped messing with the mitten. I leaned in, trying to grab the piece of handwear that almost ran away from me. Well, if we're going in the same direction. We went toward the school and the lost dawn. Here and there, the lights came on in the windows of houses we passed, as if their inhabitants were sending us warning signs. Silhouettes lurked behind curtains, dogs let out occasional barks. Spirals of gray smoke rose from the chimneys, TVs bustled, and dishes clanged in kitchens I can't speak. Light! We watched the village slowly rise from its slumber, while carefully treading the snowy wheel trails. I walked in the left one, and she took up the right one. The dog was following right behind us. I expected the fox to bring up something weird again, but she stayed silent all the way to school, as if playing with me some game only she was privy to. She would only giggle from time to time, when the dog sneezed from the snowflakes that fell on its nose. I was the first to break the silence. So what's your name? Here it comes. Names, names, names. You people always need to put labels on everything. What name would you give to a fox like me? I don't know. But I've read about Alyssa the fox. You know what? I don't mind. I'll be Alyssa. Elisa? I couldn't understand if she was joking or not. I turned around as if looking for an answer. From the dog, from the dark sky devoid of dawn. My silent questions were left unanswered. You look scary. You look scary. The school's outline was already in our sight. A giant brick box, stuck in the endless night. Lights in his windows didn't bode well for me. The warden trees were guarding the schoolyard. Screams, childish laughter, and someone's whistling tore up the silence. I went here with Mom when we just moved, and the place looked cozy at that time. Empty corridors that smelled of polish, puffy snow outside. The second time I came alone to get books, and just kept on imagining my peers, rolling down the railings, grade schoolers, running to the library, and teachers, marching down the corridor with the air of self-importance around them. High schoolers were smoking at the entrance, in track pants and wool caps, perched on their foreheads. Their appearance showed the last of hopes for a cozy school. Their stingy eyes and the teeth, yellow from nicotine. Their smirks. All of it had the same gloomy effect as the cloudy winter morning. Absorbed by my thoughts, I completely forgot about my companion. I'll wait for you at the backyard after school, near the hanged man. Near what? She just ignored my question. Don't be late. I hesitated, blowing hot and cold again. Mom always said that when I would have trouble choosing between two options. Thinking about Mom helped me reply. I'm going straight home after school. Well, Antasha, I'm going to let you off the hook, but the others will creep up to you with their smiles and sink their teeth into you. Won't be able to shake them off as easily. Remember my words. The fox opened her mouth in a wide yawn. What kind of trick is this? Someone running in the distance called out my name. I instinctively turned around. Oh! A huge snowball whizzed past my shoulder and hit the dog. The dog! It whimpered and ran toward the spring. The darkness devoured it. The fox girl was also nowhere to be seen. She dissolved into frosty air. Or was she hiding in my shadow? I gulped and swallowed the gum. Unlucky. After taking a deep breath, I went toward the school, toward the cutlets and dough, toward the light raining down onto the snow. And this is a fantastic place. Stop. For us to pause this episode. So yeah, interesting. We have a new character. I like her, personally. I think she's chill. But we are going... Stop. But we're going to wrap this up here. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked this video as much as I'm enjoying playing it, hit the like button, subscribe to support the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye. Okay, you coming? Yes, just am I dead? 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Well, you're what?